How's everybody doing out in Facebook land? Love to see you guys. All happy and good. So, you get the car broadcast studio today because unfortunately I'm a little out of place from my regular studio. Out taking care of business today, taking care of things. Did my interview today. Thank you all for all the support everybody put in. So, Idaho debates. Let's go ahead on Friday. They'll actually be posting that. Yeah, we're just going to remove that. So on Friday, we're going to be Idaho Public TV will be doing the debates that we recorded today. So I know myself and Rudy Soto, we recorded our portions of the debate today. And tomorrow, yes. And I'm not sure exactly when Russ will be putting his pieces in, but we recorded them today. They will be assembled, and on Friday, they will be broadcast. So we're currently working on putting together a watch party. Whether we do it online or whether or not we do it at the bar or some combination of the two. Yes. Watch party on Friday. We get to watch the debates. Yours truly. In the meantime, I got two more debates coming up this week. Both of them on Thursday, of all things. So that's going to make things interesting for Thursday. But what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to hear about? Let's go ahead and please like, share, comment, donate. Let me know what you guys are interested in. Let me know what your concerns are. One of the big concerns that was brought up today during the debate, of course, was Medicaid, Medicare. Well, Medicaid. Medication was one thing, and how Idaho went through those steps, and how I would approach that as a libertarian in Congress. You know, it's a little hard to get the full scope of something in, a minute and a half, which is what they were given for most of the answers. But let's be pragmatic here. We are not going to cut Medicaid and Medicaid day one. That is not the way we would go about fixing the healthcare industry. First is transparency. We accomplish the transparency, and after that, then we work on the rest of the stuff. And there's no point in, cutting Medicare when there's still no transparency in the healthcare industry. That's pointless. Okay? There is no free market if there is no transparency. Boom. That's it, folks. So, before anybody starts worrying about me cutting, Medicare or Medicaid just because I'm a libertarian, nah, folks. Transparency. We create the free market first, and then we wean the free market off of it. As long as government's involved, there's no free market. But, we create the transparency, and then we start moving more fully to a free market. What else have you guys got going on? I see a couple of you out there watching out in Twitter land. Yeah. How's life out in Twitter land? We got good things going on in there. Twitter was nice. They actually gave me my own little bit. It says Idaho candidate, Congressional District 1. Yes, finally. Only took him like about 3 weeks. I think Rudy's already had his for 3 weeks. But yeah. So Twitter finally gave me my little header, and that is really nice of them. Looking forward to that. Okay. Milton Friedman on negative income tax. Oh, yes. Negative income tax. There's a couple of ways to deal with a negative income tax. Reason why is because we are libertarians, but we do live in modern United States, and we do recognize that the last 50 years of our welfare state has created some dependencies that we just can't simply yank, no matter how much some of us want to. It's just reality, folks. We aren't going to go out and just say, no more of this, no more of that. And one of the best ways, this is a combination, both Hayek and Friedman, appeal to authority. Thank you, Twitterland, Miss Liberty. Appreciate it. Contemplated the idea of a negative income tax. Now, then the UBI. And nobody in their right mind actually supports universal basic income, because that requires that we take money away from everybody just so that we can give it back. A negative income tax actually works the other way. We set a flat rate for those above a certain tier, and those people who are below that, get their wages made up to where we have a minimum basic standard of living. Okay. I know for some, but we're still giving them, dude, it's significantly cheaper than what some of the alternatives are. One, because we can actually use the Human Resources Center in a lot of companies and corporations to actually handle the redistribution rather than creating a whole new government bureaucracy to make it happen. All we need to do is go in and audit every so often. And as long as everybody's playing, and a lot of the audit is simply based off of, complaints. If somebody complains about a company enough times, boom, we go in and audit them. It's not like, we audit everybody. We understand wage theft happens, but wage theft gets reported, right? People like to make what they're supposed to make. End of story. So we can significantly cut down on the amount of bureaucracy that's involved in making that a minimum standard of living is met by individuals who are in the workforce who don't make, a specific wage. Now, this is ironic. Reason why is because as a libertarian, if I go in and I say, okay, well, we're going to do away with the federal minimum wage because the federal minimum wage is a blanket policy that obviously isn't appropriate for everywhere. And then we create this thing called negative income tax, and we say everybody's going to make a minimum income. Okay, now they're not working for this minimum income. The corporations aren't paying for this minimum income. So there's a little bit of fudge room, but a lot of that this is one of the reasons why Mises likes to call Friedman a communist. Okay, reason why is because Friedman was willing to at least entertain a path to a free market system where the minimum wages and the rest of that weren't part of the problem. As a friend of mine likes to put it, we recognize you're going to do it the wrong way, but you're going to do the wrong thing, at least do it the right way. And the negative income tax is probably the most right way that we can approach fixing the welfare state in America. But anyway, it's neither here nor there, because until we get at least 50% libertarians in Congress, that kind of tax reform is going to be a tough sell. Really hardcore tough sell. And then, of course, it also depends on what kind of libertarians you get in Congress. If you get Mises in Congress, they're not going to take that graduated approach. If you get people more of the Hayek and Friedman school, we can be pragmatic and make it happen. And yes, I'm slamming Misesians, and but that's the nature of our own internal politics right there, right? So What else we got going? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm being bad. Talk to me, folks. What else we got going on out there? Comment. Nice. Uh, do I see what? I don't see what you see. It's out on YouTube land, man. Let me see what I can see out in YouTube land. What's going on with you out in YouTube land? Because I don't see what you're seeing. Care to elucidate there any CA8620? It's all right. Appears as though you've gone again already. But negative income tax. It's been suggested as a way to get out of the hole that we've dug ourselves into. It said corporate welfare, boom. There are no bailouts in capitalism, folks. There are no bailouts in the free market. It's time we recognize that. It's time we stop playing this Keynesian bullshit. Yeah. Fix corporate America. And if that means letting corporate America fail, then corporate America is going to tired of playing this game with them. $10 trillion, bailouts every 5 to 10 years. The American economy can't keep bailing that sort of garbage out. It can't. It's time we fix that problem. Plain and simple. Time we fix that problem. No more bailouts for corporate America. If corporate America can't keep their ducks in a row, open the market up to entrepreneurs. Yeah, it's an idea, right? Open it up to entrepreneurs. Open it up to small business. Let's make ingenuity a thing again. Open source. Come on, folks, talk to me. Let me know what you got going on. I need to go in here and take a look at something here real quick. So, of all the things that are important to you, what are they? Are you paying attention to what's happening in the world right now? Is that something that's important to you? You got something going on? Education-wise. Yeah, I know there's an awful lot of people out there that don't like me talking about doing away with the Department of Education at the federal level. Do you know that there are nearly 500 different federal agencies? 500, executive or equivalent agencies. You got 120 under the different cabinet positions. You got 300 or so that are actually executive agencies. Now, the funny thing is there is more executive agencies than there are elected officials in Congress. Think that one through, okay? Think that one through. I don't understand why that's even a thing. Because we're trying, right? We're trying. That is what we're doing, right? We are trying. Okay. Exactly what does that mean to anybody? Um, how do you drain the swamp when there are 500 agencies? You got more agencies than you have elected officials, and all of these agencies, you know, they effectively write legislation just by issuing guidance. You know, these agencies, they have enough power that literally guidance creates felonies. There's nearly 500 of these. These are agencies subordinate to different cabinet positions. I said 122 of them, depending. US Gov lists 443 different executive agencies. And these are agencies that all require oversight because that's what we did. Congress absolved themselves of the congressional duty associated with any one of these agencies by creating the agency, saying, yeah, you guys now have the power of the executive and Congress. We will let you guys write your own regulations. 443 agencies, we basically, said, yeah, write your own rules. How do you start draining the swamp like that? Because, that's agency level task right there. Who remembers the stories of Hercules, right? Hercules. One of his first tasks was to clean out the barns, clean out the stables. So many horses, so much horse crap in there. And then literally, by the time he finished, there was more horse shit back at the beginning. So how do you go in and start cleaning up 443 executive agencies? How do you drain the swamp? Well, I guess the secret is you actually got to start draining it. A lot of those executive agencies were created through legislation. Okay. Which means that those executive agencies need to be eliminated via legislation. You need Congress to go in and say, okay, these 10 no longer serve a purpose. If they ever did, let's go ahead and, start putting together our list of executive agencies that, no longer serve a purpose, no longer function. Of course, that was part of the thing with creating the list, 443. Where do you come up with, So start whittling away at the bureaucracy, start whittling away at the organizations and the structures. And eventually what you do is you work back to it and, make Congress do Congress's job again. I mean, that was originally the point of them being there. They went in and the idea was Congress created legislation. That was their job. They created the legislation. They created the rules. They created, the administrative, and when you just sort of absolve yourself of that responsibility, hand it over to executive agency and say, hey, write your own rules. That's when you end up with messes like, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, when they write their own rules for how to handle issues like Waco and Ruby Ridge and the friggin' Fast and Furious operation, where literally they gave guns away to bad guys. That was their operation, give guns away to bad guys and see where the bad guns. Yeah, that's what happens when Congress absolves itself of oversight for operations and organizations like that. And it sucks even more is because ATF is, let's admit it, it's an unconstitutional organization, even without taking into consideration the fact that it's an executive agency that was never designed to be created ever anyway. And, from the beginning, whose idea was it to create an executive agency? Exactly. Who upheld that as a constitutional idea? This makes no sense to me. Anyway, I'm rambling today. 20 minutes. I'm not going to get an awful lot of fun from you guys today, am I? Not on a Monday evening. So, tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. Remember, like, love, share, comment. Talk to your me. We got the Idaho debates coming up. First one, Congressional District 1. That's going to be on Friday. More information to follow. I'll make sure that information gets posted on Twitter and YouTube Watch Party, Facebook, all the good places out there in Twitch land too. You guys can participate as well. But do the good things, do the good deeds. In the meantime, remember, family, friends, community. Together we can drain a swamp. Love you guys. Take care.